Hello, my name is Dinah Young. As you can see, I have several certifications: PMP, RMP, ACP, and ITIL. That's both Foundation and Service Strategy, and I'm currently working on my service design. Now let me tell you a little bit about what I do. I'm currently working with the Planning Management Oversight Office, or PMO, and I've worked as a project manager for many years. I've worked in several industries: federal government as a contractor, local government on staff, that's where I work currently, healthcare providers as a contractor, and commercial companies as a contractor. I've worn many hats over the years. I started out as a developer. I've done a lot of training. I've been a project manager, and currently I'm working with our PMO. And these are some of the projects I've worked on. We're currently setting up a PMO. We're using COVID 5 for governance with ITIL and Lean Six Sigma. I also was in charge of the SQL Server 2005 End of Life project. We upgraded our SQL Server 2005 databases to 2012 and in some cases 2014. And then we upgraded again to Enterprise. I was in charge of the county-wide Link deployment. We deployed Link to about 38 departments, and I was responsible for training them and getting them set up. I've been the SharePoint administrator for all of our collaboration sites. We have about 100 collaboration sites, and I was responsible for setting them up, managing them, training the users, and monitoring them as we go. I facilitated the vendor selection for our staff augmentation contract, and I was involved with the audit remediation. We have external auditors come in every few years to do audits on our applications, our databases, our servers, etc. And I was responsible for the remediation of the application audit. Looking at my timeline, you can see the past several companies I worked for, the roles I played, and when I received each of my certifications. So that's what I do. Now let me tell you about who I am. I like to say that everybody has superpowers. These are things that you're naturally good at. Here are some of mine. Relationship builder. This is not about me building a relationship with one person. This is about building relationships for my team with stakeholders, vendors, customers, etc. Then there's a facilitator. We all spend way too much time in meetings throughout the day. I like to ensure that all my meetings are productive and to the point. And then there's the organizer. I enjoy bringing organization to chaos. And finally, communicator. Again, it's not just about communicating to people, it's listening to people and also being aware of what they're doing throughout the day. Therefore, whenever an issue arises, you know where to go to for a solution. Here's some examples. We had a stakeholder that was very upset with my department. He said we never did anything for him. So I sat down with him and had a meeting and discussed his processes, his wants, his needs. Ultimately, we were able to deliver a solution that not only improved his process, but it addressed one of his major pain points, which greatly improved his attitude towards my department. Another incident was many, many years ago. I was working as a federal contractor, and one of my customers was deaf. And I was tasked with training him on how to manage the application that we were about ready to deliver. Now, for major meetings, we had an interpreter coming in, and that was great. But for the day-to-day discussions, we had to write notes back and forth to each other. This was not really working out so well. So I asked him if he would take the time to teach me some basic sign language. So every day at lunchtime, we sat down and he showed me basic signs. Within a couple of weeks, we were communicating pretty well together. As others saw us doing this, they also want to learn sign language. Can you imagine how that made him feel when everybody was learning how to communicate with him? And finally, in my current job, our planning department has a comprehensive plan that they release every year. And they were looking for a better way to present this information to the residents of the county. They were just using PDF files and static maps. Well, I had remembered several years ago our GIS department had demoed this product called Story Maps, and it was an Esri product. And I was wondering if that would be a good solution for the comprehensive plan. So I pulled GIS and my team into a meeting, and we were brainstorming different ideas of how to present a comprehensive plan. And I brought up the story maps. And after some discussion, we realized this was probably a pretty good solution. So we did a demo and we showed it to planning, and they loved the solution, and ultimately it was deployed. So what makes me excited to come to work every day? Stakeholder management. I love working with my stakeholders, identifying who needs to be involved in the process, understanding their requirements, communicating with them throughout the project, and ultimately delivering something that meets their needs. Then there's risk management. How can you not be excited about risk management? Here's something, if done properly, can mean the difference between the success and failure of a project. Understanding the risks that could occur and then coming up with ways to mitigate those risks is very exciting. And then there's project management. This pulls it all together, pulling all the pieces of the project together and ultimately delivering it to your users. I love it. And I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video.